Hello and welcome to the Sussex Smuggler. I'm Captain James Bollinger, and this evening the veil between the living and the dead is said to be its most thinnest on the eve of Halloween, or as some might know it as Samhain. And I've got a bit of a story for you, and this takes me back to my childhood, where I used to live on a council estate that was built next to a wood called Dingle's Wood in northwest London. Some of you might know it, at a town called Pinner. And the wood sprouted out of a very famous historic local landmark called the Grimsdyke that stretched for, I think, around 10 miles across that part of London and was said to be the ancients' burial ground, is what I learned at school at the time, and a marcation line between Saxon England and Viking England at the time of their occupation. And of course, there's various artifacts found all along the Grimsdyke, ancient artifacts that were found by various archaeologists, even, and digs. So I thought I'd share with you this rather spooky story without explanation again, and in some respects quite humorous. And here it is, because I used to live on a council estate in a house, obviously with my parents, and we had a dog, and his name was Dash. He was a lovely dog, a lovely animal, very uh, kind and patient and a good-natured beast. He was a lurcher. He was crossed between a border collie and a greyhound, and he was a real family dog. But he needed a lot of exercise and a lot of walking because of his breeding, I suppose. But he used to do a lot of sniffing and all the rest of it that dogs do. So, of course, before we'd all go to bed, he'd need a bit of an outing um, to do his business. So, my dad, on a Saturday, if he got the day off, would like to go out on the gargle, a deserving couple of pints down the club. So he did that day, and he'd come back at the night before we all went to bed, and quite surprisingly this time managed not to bring anyone home. So he went and walked the dog, took Dash for a walk over the woods, and he was gone some time. Nothing unusual, really. There's hardly any lighting over these woods, and they're very ancient woods called Dingle's Woods. You can look them up, and you can also look up the Grimsdyke. And incidentally, the Grim means the devil in Saxon uh, terminology, apparently. That's what I've been led to believe by some of the research I've done in making this broadcast. And suddenly the door opened, and Dash ran in because he was off the lead at the time. And my dad came in, and he was as white as a sheet. And he said to my mum, "You'll never guess what." And she said, "What?" He said, "I just saw two old ladies naked up a tree playing cards." And we were all in obvious disbelief. And he said, "They said to me, 'Come up and join me for the game.'" And on that, he said, the dog ran first, fast back home. And he said, "I wasn't hanging about either." Well, there you go. I mean, and he swears by that to this day. Some of you might think that's a bit of an old Irish yarn that he spun, but I actually believe him because I was there. And now, knowing now what I know about the Grimsdyke, it's quite possible that there's an ancient spirit over there that he might have just witnessed. Or, of course, was it a case of just some bad old beer from down the club that he'd consumed, one too many over the threshold of what the body can cope with, and quite obviously, maybe the mine too. Well, I'll never forget that story, and I thought I'd share that with you for Halloween. So if you're over there whilst the veil is thin, the Dingles Woods, Montesole playing fields, the Grimsdyke, Pinner Green, watch out, because there might well be something over there that you're not expecting, quite possibly from the time of the ancients. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, comment and subscribe to the channel. You can find me on Facebook now, the Sussex Smuggler with a capital T. You can find my blog, the Sussex Smuggler, for some local history. And I just want to say thanks for joining me this evening. Take care and look out for the trees.